Hi, I'm Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy Segment Show. Also today in this segment, I'm at Copeland Park in LaCrosse, Wisconsin. Copeland Park is located on Copeland Park Drive in LaCrosse, Wisconsin. The park is located next to the Mississippi River. The park features a baseball field, some playground areas, dozens of trees, a tennis court, picnic tables, picnic shelters, and also a steam locomotive from the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad, and a caboose from the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul Railroad, as well as a signal tower that was once used in the city as well. What you see right behind me is Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy 4000. Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy 4000 was built by Baldwin in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1930 and is the 1500th steam locomotive built by that factory, and is a 464 Hudson type steam locomotive and is an S4A class steam locomotive. Also, the locomotive is named Alice. This locomotive was used a lot on the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad many years ago, and the locomotive was originally numbered 3002. The locomotive was then rebuilt at the West Burlington shops in West Burlington, Iowa in 1937, and it was renumbered 4000 and was named Alice. And it was put in a streamlined form, and it was silver. In 1942, it was back to how it looks right now and just had the number 4000. This locomotive was basically used as a high-speed passenger steam locomotive for the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad, and went into service pulling Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy varnish passenger services such as the Exarban between Lincoln, Nebraska, and Chicago, Illinois. And by the way, Exarban is Nebraska spelled backwards, if you didn't know that. The Chicago, Illinois to Denver, Colorado Aristocrat, and the Blackhawk, Chicago, Illinois to Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota overnight. Then in the late 1950s, the locomotive was retired, and in 1963 it was donated to the city of LaCrosse, Wisconsin, and was put on display in Copeland Park where it is today. Also, the locomotive went through several cosmetic restorations over the years as well. Also, Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy 4000 is one of 5 surviving Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy 464s left in the world today, and it can be found here at Copeland Park in LaCrosse, Wisconsin, where it can be seen on display today. What you see right behind me is Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 359. Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 0359 was built by the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul shops in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1883 and is a wooden caboose. This car was used on the back of freight trains for many years, and it acted as the train crew's office when being used on the railroad as well. Then it was retired, and it was then later moved here to be on display at Copeland Park in LaCrosse, Wisconsin, where it is preserved today. Also, the car has gone over several cosmetic restorations as well, and today can be found here on display where it is today. What you see right behind me is the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul Grand Crossing Signal Tower. The Grand Crossing Tower was built in 1928. This structure was built to replace the original structure, which was destroyed in a train wreck. It was originally located in the yard near the intersection of Gillette and Oak Street, This watchtower was used for switching tracks and controlling signals for the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul Railroad. It was the last manually operated strong arm interlocking tower in the state of Wisconsin. Then in 1991, it was retired and it was nearly demolished, but then a local railroad group took ownership. It was then soon moved to this location at Copeland Park to be on display with the steam locomotive and caboose where it is seen today. Okay, you can see right behind me, this is a signal that was used probably for the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul, the Great Northern Railroad, or the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad here in LaCrosse. And also, it stands next to this tower that was used to control signals years ago, as of course it represents how it would have been used. And also the lights indicate whether to go or stop. Now here it is on display today at Copeland Park. Okay, you could see behind me, just around the staircase, there are several switch stands that may have been used around the town. These are old-fashioned switch stands, but they've been retired and have been put here since this train display was put here, it looks like, or probably when the tower was put here. There are even some behind the staircase and a few in front of the tower on this side as well. Well, I hope you all enjoyed learning about trains with me today in Matthew Lapp Train Guy segment show. Also, I hope to see you all again in the next segment. And if you didn't subscribe to my channel yet, the subscribe button is just down below the video screen. And if you didn't give the Facebook page a like yet, here's where you'll want to go. And if you didn't give the Instagram page a follow yet, here's where you'll want to go as well. Also, be sure to get your merch at teesprings.com. The link is in the description box below, along with the Facebook and Instagram pages. And remember to subscribe to the Train Guy. So this is Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy segment show. Sign out until next time. All aboard.